This girl built a haunted house in the creepiest dorm in America, and she did it for less than $1,000. This is Morrill Tower at The Ohio State University. Students call it the creepiest dorm in America. Why? Because it was once home to a guy you've definitely heard of, Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah, that Jeffrey Dahmer. And the history only gets creepier from here. Flashback to the 1960s. If you graduated high school in Ohio, congratulations, you basically had an automatic ticket into The Ohio State University. But that meant that enrollment eventually skyrocketed to over 50,000 students. So Ohio State had a huge problem, not enough dorm space. So what was the solution? Brutalist architecture, basically giant concrete blocks with colors and styles that only a murderous dictator could love. And to top it off, they crammed in communal living and bathrooms and open living spaces that were supposed to bring students together. That's how Morrill Tower and Lincoln Tower were born. Together, these twin towers could house a whole lot of students. Problem solved, right? Wrong. It was a disaster. Students hated it. Rumors swirled that some students even unalived themselves by jumping out of the windows. Now, just to prove I'm not making this up, I was able to find an eyewitness who was actually there back then. So I'm taking the highly unprofessional yet still totally awesome step of interviewing my mom, who knew all about Morrill Tower because she was at Ohio State back then.
They used to call it Tower because there was so little privacy. You couldn't get away from other people. And the rumor was that some people, opened the windows somehow and jumped out. That can happen in college situations, but I think they blamed it on the fact that, there were too many bodies packed in there. And it didn't last very long before they shut it down.
So Morrill Tower was shut down and abandoned after a mysterious death before making a comeback many years later. Sounds like the plot to another certain Tower of Terror attraction. And because of this, Morrill Tower has been notorious with students at The Ohio State University ever since, which makes it a perfect place for a haunted house. And it just so happens that Ohio State now hosts an annual event called Are You Ready? Paramoral. It's just too perfect. And now in Morrill Tower's defense, they did make it better, and even the most notorious tower at The Ohio State University is still better than going to Michigan, and I'm not biased at all. Cheaters. Enter Audrey Nelson. She's not just a student, she's a mechanical engineering major, and she even interned at SpaceX. So basically, she's a rocket scientist who decided to build a haunted house in her spare time. But here's the crazy part. Creating a haunted attraction isn't just tossing up some scary decorations. Audrey had to design it, build it, market it, actually operate it with her theme park engineering club. That's like 5 different jobs at once. It's a theme park operations masterclass, and that's where our interview begins. So we sat down with Audrey to find out, how do you take one of the creepiest dorms in America and turn it into a nightmare-fueled attraction on a budget smaller than the cost of most college textbooks? Ready? Click for part 2.